What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. I understand that it has been a while since you've seen the three of us together. We apologize for that. Last week was a little iffy because I wouldn't have been there again, and then there's nothing to talk about. And Geek and Miller were there the week before. They got you covered that week, but I don't know what went on last week.
We gotta be real.
I was in Maine.
Jake does a lot of the prep work for what we're actually going to talk about on these episodes. Like, I'm going to be real here. Jake does a lot of the work leading into the episode. So
This is true.
when he's not around, me and Miller can riff for 4 hours, but we got no plan. We don't go into it with a plan at all. So yeah, it's rough without Jakey boy here, as you guys noticed.
We made it through, and we're back, and we should be back on our regular schedule.
Plus, on top of that, at this point in the off season, we were anticipating having a very special video, but unfortunately, the person that is needed for that special video has not gotten back to me recently because of football. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake was
I thought I
lost
missed
for a
something
second.
there. I thought I missed something. No, but yeah, we're back. Today we actually do have a plan. We're going to talk about preseason week 1, talk about all of our teams, some players that stood out to us, some winners and losers from our team's first preseason games, and then we're going to start a new little series here that we're going to do leading into the season where we're going to predict a bunch of records, talk about a bunch of team seasons leading into it. I've got mine written down and ready to go.
So,
I don't know about you fellas, but I'm not going off the dome tonight.
No, I don't want to. I totally forgot to ask before we started the episode. What the fuck was that website we all used last year to track our record
playoff
predictions?
predictors.
Okay,
Playoff predictor.
but okay. I just got to figure out that
NFL,
site
NBA,
then, 'cause it's
MLB, all that
confusing.
stuff.
So all it
Yeah.
was showing me was
Yeah.
like the playoff thing. Because I'm going to be working on that in the background while we talk about everything else.
But before we get into all that, boys, how we doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I have a mic arm now. I am an official
Good.
content man.
Love it.
Just look at it. It goes up and down and left and right and does all these
But you
different
don't have
things.
a camera that can move though. Neither do I.
I mean,
but-
technically I do. I can just...
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I can just pick up my laptop.
I
but-
actually
Yeah.
don't.
Mine
My
isn't
camera
motor,
is
but-
very stationary.
Skill issue. Skill issue.
Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Well,
Look at this, Geek! Look at this,
no,
Geek! Oh,
see,
what are you gonna do?
because
What are
mine
you gonna do,
actually,
Geek?
I
What are you
guess
gonna do,
mine is
Geek?
movable. Here we go. Deuces.
Oh, you got the desk. He's got the desk. Thank God
Geek, I'm
that
not-
guy's
Geek.
leaving.
Geek, I'm not gonna lie to you. What you're doing right now is what I meant when I said that your camera.
Well, did my internet just die? I think my internet just died. Wonderful. Wonderful. We'll be back eventually. I'm filling this dead air
True.
well. I have no clue what you guys just said. My internet died.
Did
Oh
it
yeah, we know.
record?
We were talking about whether or not it was still recording and if
Oh,
we should keep
yeah.
going or not.
No, I just kept rambling.
Alright,
I was like,
well,
oh, my
Geek, it's,
internet died. We're cooking.
Geek, it's your turn to say how good you're doing or bad you're doing.
Doing
I'm
all
not
right.
gonna assume.
I don't know. Desk is moving, I guess. No, the camera's like screwed onto a thing, so I can't like move it around. But
Yeah.
Skill issue.
But, like, it can-
actually, our first order of business tonight is to tell Miller about a funny TikTok video that we were talking
oh
about.
yeah,
So
There are,
Matthew
like,
Spanauer
3 of them.
posted on his second account. So he posted 2 parts of a series that he calls "How I Would Score a Rushing Touchdown in the NFL," and the second one was hiding the football under his jersey.
yeah.
And so it just looks like he has a really big belly. And when the defensive lineman asks, "Do you have a football under there?" he's just going to say no. And then when they're all not suspecting, he'll just walk into the end zone and he'll pop the football out of his jersey and he'll score a touchdown.
Is there anything in the rule book against anyone doing that?
have
Because
no
every
idea.
running back should do it.
The
I feel like there
the
is
first
something to be said
thing-
about the fact that the defensive lineman would just be like, "Oh, all right, well."
Yeah, I
He's got to
trust
find
you.
out. He's got to
Um,
find out.
So, the first one he brought up, though, was Cam Newton would hand him the ball, and he would just stop and look at it and just go, what even is this? The defense would not react at all. They would stop because, oh, this idiot doesn't know what a football is. Then I'd go, oh, wait, I know what this is. And I'd just sprint by him really fast.
Yeah,
His brain.
Bro is
Yeah, this
high
is,
as a motherfucker this evening,
yeah.
dude.
Listen,
This
this
is-
guy is bringing up what Derrick Henry couldn't dream of doing.
Yeah, to be fair. If it's,
This is how Roshan Johnson will run the football in 2023.
I mean, let's be honest. There are running backs in the NFL, starting running backs, who have gone a full season without a single touchdown. So he'd be Miles Sanders. He could be that. Anywho,
Well, so what was the other one he did? Oh, he
I
was
didn't see
just
the third one.
ranting about the, you get $1 million for every rushing yard you get behind the Rams offensive line. It just all of the stupid internet questions. My biggest thing is stop taking those so seriously. Let people have their goofy little fun.
My serious answer is that I would probably die because their offensive line is terrible.
Nah, I'm getting
But-
exactly 1 yard as we run a QB sneak.
If it's just $1 million, bro, I'm getting at least
And
a
then
yard.
I'm out because that's going to hurt like a motherfucker, but I'm doing one. We're getting that yard, getting that mill, and I'm going home. I'm out. Coach McVay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the yard, and then the other 9 carries, I'm just gonna lateral the football to somebody else.
But
Oh,
then
yeah,
you
we'll
lose
be in
it.
the shotgun
As
just
long as
handing
I
the
wouldn't
ball.
lose yards because I'm
As long as
lateraling
someone's there to catch it.
Yeah,
I
as
thought
long
you
as
meant you
someone's
were
there
just
to
going to
catch
throw
it.
the football backward and fall on it.
No, I'm just going to throw the football.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything about
if I'm behind the line of
interception.
scrimmage, I can just
I'm
I'm just gonna hit Van Jefferson for a 60-yard touchdown.
Cooper
What
Cup.
they're not expecting is I'm going to come out, run a bootleg, run all the way to the right side, pump fake it to DJ Moore, and then sprint down the sideline. And they're not going to see me going.
All right, Justin Fields Cook.
They do call me the white Justin Fields.
No, they do not.
Yes, they do.
Not a single person ever has
Nobody
said these words.
Okay, just
They
for
call
the
me
record,
that.
just so we avoid any legal issues, nobody has ever or will ever call Miller football the white Justin Fields.
They have called me the white Justin
no, they
Fields.
have
I'm not
not.
going to tell you who they is, but they have.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
sure
tell
we
you
don't
who
want to know
they
who
is.
the they is. But yeah, getting into our first real topic of today, now that we've kind
That
of
wasn't a real topic.
well, the spawn hour thing was
Yeah.
kind of our intro to the
I
real
probably shouldn't
topics.
sit like this because it's probably not going to bode well for the camera or the little graphic. I should probably sit like this.
Well, I don't. Anyway,
I don't know what the fuck you're on, so we're moving on.
I don't know.
I don't know what he
does it work?
means. I don't
Like,
get
You're
there's
it.
the
still
graphic
in
that we have
camera.
on the
Nothing
screen.
changes.
You're in the frame. No
Oh, I
matter
thought
what
it like
you do.
cut it. Is it the whole
No,
frame
it's
that's
the
in
whole.
it?
It's like almost the whole frame.
Oh, okay, cool. So I can keep sitting like this and prop my feet.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
guy,
So
dude.
we're gonna talk about preseason week 1 here.
Sorry, I'm bad at technology.
I'm not gonna lie. I know that me and Miller's teams won. Did the Vikings win, Geek?
No, we lost to Seattle.
All right. Let's go. Good start.
Poverty.
Good start.
Poverty.
Poverty.
Yeah, unfortunately, none
Wait,
of
wait.
it. We didn't start anybody, so
That means that. Wait.
All your starters are going to be
Okay, hold up.
unprepared.
I just have a question. No matter what their stat line is, does the starting quarterback always get the win?
I don't know. I don't know how that works for preseason. Nobody gets the win because
But
it's
if they
preseason and no one
do-
cares. Oh
But
my
if they
God.
do, your team lost to Drew Lock, and I cannot believe it. Oh boy, this.
You know
this
what?
is
At
one of
least
the
Drew
best
Lock
moments
looked
I've ever
like
had on this
shit, so we can talk
podcast.
about that.
He looked okay.
Yeah, he
Anywho,
definitely threw an interception that really
As
shouldn't
I
have
said-
happened. 'Cause
As I
he's
said,
bad.
I didn't watch a split second of the game. I just knew Drew Lock was playing.
I did.
and-
Every time I'd look up,
my
I'd
thing.
watch Drew Lock and I'd go, "Oh, is he gonna cook something?" And then he'd miss, and I'd be like, "Ah, nope."
Don't worry.
Then
Started
he'd
by
hand the
week
ball
8.
to somebody else.
All right, but preseason week 1, me and Miller's teams won, so we get to cook. Let's talk about some winners and losers for each of our teams. Start with the winners. Okay, I've got like 6 written down, but we'll probably just do like 3 each. We'll go in a little circle here.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
You can go
Like-
first, Mr. Six
Okay.
written down.
My first winner for the Packers coming out of their first game against the Bengals is Carl Brooks. Big time W night for Carl Brooks. He went crazy. Didn't have a sack or anything, but he looked really, really good. I know it's a backup offensive line, but I think he's going to be a super solid guy that we can kind of piece in and out of our defensive line this year. Yeah, he's my first winner. He was good, and I like him. I like the pick.
Oh, okay, we're gonna go winner. Okay. For me,
winner, yeah.
the first guy that stood out to me for Chicago was definitely Tyreek Stevenson. He's somebody that going into the draft I was super high on. I love what he brings to the table as a physical man corner, and that is exactly what he was. Granted, I know. Actually, no, he did start out against the Titans' starting offense, everyone except DeAndre Hopkins. So, like, he was still dealing with some starting receivers. But what stood out to me was he was always at the ball, no matter what. He was flying all over the place. He was making tackles. He blew up a wide receiver screen. Like, he was playing an aggressive, physical brand of football, and I love that. He gave me big, like, Kyle Fuller vibes almost, but like a more athletic Kyle Fuller. And I really like that. He's somebody that I think unironically can take over as like the number one corner in Chicago long term. I love Tyreek Stevenson. So I was very, very pleased and very impressed with what I saw out there. Granted, it was preseason, but
Yeah. Geek.
Well, I'm trying to. Are we doing multiple winners or just the one?
We're each going to do 3.
Okay. Well,
as far as I know.
Then I'm going to start with the obvious one that you all knew I was going to say. Ivan Pace. No, Ivan Pace actually was incredible.
I didn't watch the game.
Bro cooked. It was awesome. Since then, he's been running with Brian Asamoah and the ones. So, like, he cooked all game. He started the game, had the green dot on his helmet, which meant he was calling all the plays for the like, he was the leader for. Yes, it was our second string unit because no starters played outside of like Jordan Addison and Lewis Seen, who could be starters but are fringe guys because nobody really knows. Yeah, so Ivan Pace like actually cooked, and it was pretty great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, we all start off our winners with defensive rookies, so that's good.
Yeah.
My second winner for the Packers, his winning is mostly just coming from somebody else's downfall, but Josiah DeGuara is a winner for the Packers because he is confirmed to be the Packers fullback 1 because Henry Pearson got lit up the entire game against the Bengals. DeGuara is fully transitioning into a halfback position, which is bad because of the Tyler Davis thing. We'll talk about that when we talk about losers. But yeah, DeGuara is going to be, like, I think used pretty heavily.
Wait, did you say halfback?
He's
switching to halfback?
I wasn't
whatever.
paying
I don't
attention.
care.
Oh yeah, it's just H.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
I thought you were legitimate. No, I wasn't making fun of you. I thought he was legitimately playing halfback.
No,
I was like, the fuck?
No, he's playing fullback.
Yeah, no.
Whatever. I'm just gonna say fullback.
Okay.
All right.
I was gonna say I wasn't trying to be an ass. I thought you were legitimately, or I thought the Packers were
Yeah,
legitimately.
he's actually gonna be a running back
halfback.
too this year.
Honestly,
Yeah,
that'd be incredible.
I was very concerned.
AJ Dillon is
DeGuara-
benched.
I was concerned.
DeGuara, I'm excited for DeGuara. I'm excited to see what they can do with DeGuara. Henry Pearson, I'm sorry. I thought you were cool, but it's over. He probably will not be a Packer for much longer.
Speaking of fullbacks that won't stick with their favorite teams, Robert Burns played really well for the Bears. And I say he won't stick with the team because obviously Curry exists. He is not going to challenge Curry for that role, and I can't imagine the Bears would carry 2 fullbacks as much as I'd like them to. But I was really impressed with his physicality a couple days ago on Saturday. Sorry, time is relative. It was yesterday if I think it was yesterday. That's what Einstein said. But
right.
no, his physicality was great. He laid a lot of really like hard hits. There was one point where he cracked a linebacker, and I swear to God, I could hear it out my window all the way over here in Maryland. Like, he was hooping. Roschon Johnson broke off like a 24-yard run, and it got sprung by Robert Burns lead blocking and picking up a linebacker and opening up a hole for him. And I was just really impressed with him. I think he had a tackle on special teams. Like, he's a guy, rookie out of Connecticut. If he keeps playing at this level and he keeps showing off like this, I wouldn't be shocked to see him get picked up somewhere else to play. Because I can tell you right now, he's better than like a Giovanni Ricci or a Giovanni Ricci or Giovanni Ricci. No,
Better than Giovanni Ricci. Good shit.
No, he'd be better than a couple other guys. Like I would say he's at least on the level of a guy like Alex Arma with more upside. And that's pretty solid. So I'd like to see him go somewhere else, but I like what he did.
I would like to point out that I have an even further hatred for Giovanni Ricci because I was playing Madden today, and for somehow, some way, a punt ended up in his hands on a return, and he housed it. I don't know how. And
you must be the worst Madden player
I must
ever.
be. I don't know what was happening.
He turned Ricci into fucking Kene Nwangwu in our Madden.
No, because here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a little bit of a glitch in Madden, at least 22, where if you fantasy draft a team and you sim the draft, it doesn't draft you a punter. And so I just played the first game without knowing this, like forgetting this fact. So my punter was Golden Tate. And so he just kind of blooped it like 5 yards, and Ricci caught it, and there was just nothing but space. And so but yeah, that's my little tangent.
Hey, listen, speaking of Ricci, I've got fantastic news. I found this out today while recording my Panthers team preview. No, but Tommy Tremble is taking fullback snaps with the first team.
I don't know if
in
that's
Carolina.
Who does?
Yes.
Oh, they have Hayden Hurst. I was thinking about Tremble as like actually playing.
He's tight end 3.
Okay.
Yeah, he's tight end.
Ian Thomas too. Yeah.
I forget Ian Thomas exists. I also forgot about Hayden Hurst. So
yeah, I was saying last offseason, who was their tight end last year?
Tommy Tremble.
I'm pretty sure Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble were just kind of split.
Well, either way, I was advocating for Tommy Tremble kicking to fullback last year, despite him being tight end 1 or 2.
Nice.
And now he's actually there, and it makes me really happy.
Yeah.
If it means less Giovanni Ricci.
Miller, just to clarify, so I don't look like a jerk moving on. Robert Burns is your second winner. Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Burns.
Okay. All right, Geek. What do you got?
Oh man, I gotta go with Miller's guy. Ty Chandler. He looked great, dude. Like
RB1?
actually. No, he's going to be RB2. But
RB1 by the end of the season.
But I think he's actually worked himself into like meaningful snaps now. Like he looked that good. He had a total of 15 touches, like 80 yards.
Never mind, I'm not going to ask that because he might be
both as a receiving and running back. Ooh.
I was going to ask about one of my guys, but he might be on your loser list.
He might be.
I'm going to hold off for a second, but I'll ask you after the loser segment if you don't mention him.
But yeah, no, Ty Chandler looked awesome, and I'm very excited for that.
Okay. My third and final winner, Carrington Valentine, is going to be so good in the NFL. Dude, that guy, he was incredible. I get it. It's the preseason, but he's a 7th round cornerback, still playing against like some starting receivers, and he was hooping, and he's been like dominating his side of the field in practice. He's been really, really good. So it's very positive for a quarterback room that outside of like Douglas and Jair is pretty iffy. So yeah, I like it.
Valid.
What, we out on Eric Stokes in Green Bay?
Officially, but if he isn't good this year, I mean, it's time to call it. I think. I mean, he hasn't played a healthy season since his rookie season, so
Valid.
Carrington Valentine could be the one that pushes him out of a starting role, and then eventually just kind of fades him into oblivion. So yeah, I don't know.
Valid.
But yeah, he was very, very good against the Bengals.
All right.
So I'm trying to avoid the obvious picks.
Sure.
I guess that's not true because I did say Tyreek Stevenson, but
I don't know if that was obvious.
Yeah,
I feel like it wasn't. Anyone who watched the game would tell you it was obvious. Well, that's fair.
The only game I watched was the Vikings game.
Right. That's what I mean.
Wait,
like
Miller,
obvious for people who watch the game.
The Bears game wasn't on national TV. How could you have watched it?
Moving on.
Not legally. But anyways,
Jake's trying to get his host his co-host arrested. You love to see it.
Dude, think about how good the content would be if next week we're sitting here and like the FBI just busts down Miller's door mid-recording.
You illegally watched a preseason game, you fuck.
No,
Yeah,
Roger
you're going to jail
Goodell
forever.
himself breaks through the door.
Roger Goodell with like a mini militia walks through my door
Yeah.
holding a cease and desist letter.
We're gonna
Yeah.
need you to
And a
forget
gun.
everything you saw in that game.
A cease and desist letter, a gun, and then one of those mind zappers from Men in Black.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Bears played a preseason game last week? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Preseason doesn't start till next week. No, so, guys, the reason I say that is because, genuinely speaking, the Bears all around had a really good game. And I don't want to sit here and just say the obvious. So, like, just as a quick shout out, the entire starting offense played great. Obviously, like we saw, it took them, 4 plays to score 2 touchdowns. They were hooping, and it was everything across the boards. Fields made a good play on the play to Herbert, and obviously Herbert and Moore after the catch, and the blocking up front was fantastic, all that good stuff. But the other big name that stood out to me was Trevis Gibson, who, going into this game, when the first unofficial depth chart was buried, he was at like edge 5 or something stupid, and he took that personally. He had a sack and a half in the game. He had like 6 pressures, had a couple run stops. Like, he was everywhere in the backfield. And that made me really happy because I love Travis Gibson, because when he sacks the quarterback or gets a TFL, he summons Mjolnir and then swings him. And I love that. That's so cool. I'm such a nerd.
Yeah.
But I love that. And we actually got to see that for the first time in Lord knows how long. So I was happy he played well. The Bears, obviously need to find somebody that's going to play the majority of the snaps opposite Yannick Ngakoue. And there's a couple guys there. It's going to be more of a rotation than anything, but I do think Travis Gibson has the chance to be the most productive out of that group, because that was the big thing with him. Like, he was productive back when Robert Quinn was on the team, and when Khalil Mack got hurt, he had 7 sacks that year. And people expected him to step up last year and be, another 7-sack guy. He wasn't. He was really disappointing, and a lot of people, including myself, wrote him off. But if he can come back playing, with his hair on fire, with a fire under his ass like that, then I think he can really hoop.
His hair's on fire and the fire's
Yeah.
under his ass. Is he trying to
There's a
shove
lot
his
of
own head
fire.
up there, or what's
No,
going
there's
on
just
here?
a lot of fire. He is in a burning building.
He's from Canada.
Well, Chicago. Moving on. I'm going with Lewis Seen. Coming back after the completely snapping his ankle in half. His closing speed is fucking insane. Watching him chase down Jackson Smith and Jigbo was awesome. So I love to see that. When you're 20 yards away and getting there before he can gain a yard, yeah. It was incredible. Like, actually watch the play, don't just say things. Jake,
Tackling a brick wall.
I'll tackle you.
I just learned a disturbing fact.
All I know is I'm
Again.
going with Lewis Seen. He also snapped his ankle less than a year ago, so he's back. So that's cool. Winner.
I'm gonna play of the year. Miller.
DJ Moore's birth name is Deniston.
Yeah, he's going to be bad.
He's gonna suck this year.
Yeah, you
Deniston
can't-
Oliver Moore Jr.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
you
just
can't
cursed
cook with
DJ
a name
Moore.
like that.
I think he just- I think he
Nobody
just
in the world
cursed
knew
DJ
that.
Moore.
I think he forgot that
Yeah.
was his real name, but here
He's
you
gonna
are.
listen to this podcast
Ruining
and just
it.
get in his own head now.
The Windy City Productions actually brought it up, so blame him, not me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
but this is
Rashad,
going to
I
get more
love you, but
views.
Yeah. Huh?
it's going to get more than 3,964 views.
Twitter views
Never.
aren't actually a real stat because it counts. When your phone auto scrolls back to the top, if that was in the auto scroll, it counts as a view.
Okay, well, it has 113 likes, so at least 113 people acknowledged it.
We'll get that.
So, I mean,
We'll get that.
That would be cool.
would be fantastic if that happened. Yeah.
I mean,
If
normally
we
we're-
reach 15 likes, I will commit
What?
to
What will you do?
What are you gonna
Frostburg
commit?
State University. I will commit to Frostburg State University.
There are a lot of things he could have finished that sentence with. Not many of them were good.
I was kind of expecting arson for some reason.
Yeah.
We know each other too well, Miller.
That was the most Miller answer was committing some kind of arson.
Because I wouldn't say anything like, harmful, but
No.
arson.
Arson's kind of harmful, dude.
Well, I could just light a
Burning
box
down
on
people's
fire out in my
houses isn't
backyard.
harmful.
I mean, hey, listen, all I'm saying is if you've been wondering how the Canada wildfire started, look no further than Miller football.
This is going to be the worst thing I've ever Googled.
Oh, no.
What constitutes as arson?
Oh, my God. That and the piracy.
Oh, it has to be...
Dude's going to prison.
Okay, it does have to
now
be...
the FBI's actually showing up, and Roger
Okay,
Goodell
I didn't know that
on the
arson
same day.
had to be a dwelling or a structure, so no. My plan of going out and lighting a box on fire would not... Yes, it would. I'm gonna force someone to move into a box in my backyard, then I'm going to set it ablaze.
You just kidnapping. You just admitted to kidnapping.
You're just admitting to
I'm not going to kidnap them.
You've just
But that's
admitted
what you
to two
said.
separate felonies.
You said,
crazy.
I am going to take them and force them to live in a box. These were the words out of your mouth.
You do understand that
gonna
if you ever down the line actually do this is evidence of premeditation.
Oh my
I think
God.
I'm never actually going to do it.
Whether or
Years
not
and
is
years.
officially, in like 30 years, this
is
episode of the Run
conspiracy to
podcast,
commit.
Yeah,
We-
like 30.
we have
Listen,
to,
okay.
Jake. We have to report him, or we're accessories.
Oh my
in
God.
like 30
No,
years.
when I said I was going to do it to somebody, I meant I was going to do it in Minecraft.
Dude, in 30 years we're gonna be sitting there.
Look out of your Minecraft.
And we're gonna turn on the news, and we're gonna see Miller in court watching this episode of Run the North as they play it back for him. The fear in his eyes.
And then I'm gonna be like, can you rewind that? I want to see if my preseason picks did anything.
Miller's like, what I had the Ravens in again? Can wanna...
Did someone put
Was I cooking?
what my Browns record prediction was?
How did Travis Gibson turn out?
Yeah, how many sacks did Travis Gibson get that year?
Did Tyreek Stevenson ever take over for Jalen Johnson?
Who was CB1 in Chicago at the end of 2023?
No, I'm gonna do it in Minecraft. You guys didn't let me finish.
Oh.
There was silence between me and Geek saying something. You had ample time.
It's because I got distracted. My brain is very scattered. I see a pretty
we
color
know.
and I stop talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was
speaking of
a
being
segment
scattered
of all
off
time.
topic, let's talk about some losers from our team's first preseason games.
Jake's a loser. I'm sorry, that was rude.
What did I do?
I said Jake.
All right.
Oh, I heard Geek.
Yeah, you wanted to hear your name. You wanted to be offended.
My first loser is the Packers tight ends. In general, Tyler Davis tore his ACL.
Didn't you draft
He's
like
the-
4 of them and they all suck?
Yeah, but Musgrave and Kraft can confirm to not block, and Tyler Davis can, and then he tore his ACL.
Or no, Kraft
should be able to.
Yeah.
But he is not having a very good start to his blocking career, as far as I'm hearing from camp.
Blood's not built for it.
As good of a thing as it is DeGuara transitioning to fullback, they are losing a tight end in the process. So now it's just the 2 rookies, and it scares me because
They're bad.
they're rookies. No, they're not. One of them's going to be good. That's why you draft 2 top 5 tight ends in a draft class. One of them's bound to be good, right?
Bro thinks they're the Baltimore
I really
Ravens.
hope so.
Bro
but
thinks
yeah,
he's the Broncos
it's
the year they drafted Noah Fant and Jake Butt. How did that work out?
Noah Fant.
Bears legend Jake Butt.
Noah Fant is a top 16 tight end in the NFL. I'm just kidding. He's not.
Is he?
He's not a top athlete tight
I
end.
mean, I don't know if he.
But yeah, my first loser is the Packers tight ends in general, because that group could be shaky if Musgrave or Kraft doesn't do anything this year.
I don't know if. Sorry, my brain just thought about it. Would Fant be the number 2 tight end in Minnesota or Chicago? Because I don't think so.
No, not in Chicago.
I think
No.
Tunyon's better than.
And
than Fant.
Oliver's a
Tunyon's
better,
better.
blocker.
Yeah.
And Hawk's the better receiver.
No, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah,
Fant-
that's tough. Fant's a weird guy.
He really is. He was supposed to be really good, man. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Packers tight ends in general, they're losing at the current moment.
Bayless fucking
fuck.
Jones.
Get the best one out of the way first.
Cook
Yes,
'em.
sir.
God, this guy. Listen, okay.
Cut him.
Bayless-
Cut him. Cut
Yeah,
him.
no, listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? The play that gets me the most is I gotta put my glasses on because I suck at looking at the camera. The thing that pisses me off the most about the Bayless performance is the play that sticks out to me is there was a punt, right? The Titans punted the ball, and Bayless let it bounce. When you see the ball bounce as a returner, what do? Do you A, wait for it to bounce back into your hands and try to catch it while you're getting hit by somebody? B, let it roll? Or C, try to go pick it up off the ground?
D, Deshaun Jackson scoop and score.
Well, yeah, go pick it up off the ground. That would be C, you moron.
No, it's D because it's got to be Deshaun Jackson scoop and
D.
score.
All of the above.
No, Bayless chose A. He tried to catch the ball off the bounce while he was getting fucking torpedoed. And naturally, it didn't quite work, and the Titans recovered it. Now, I don't think they ended up scoring on that drive when they got the ball back. I think that's the drive they missed a field goal. But, like, no, why
I have
would
a genuine question. Maybe you don't know the answer to this. Was Velus Jones Jr. any good in college?
He was good after the catch, and he was good at returning kickoffs, not punts. That's the problem. He was a good kickoff returner, and the Bears keep trying to make him a punt returner.
Is he just a Mario Rodgers in a Bears uniform?
No, because he's really fast.
Mario Rodgers is pretty fast.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nah,
That's what he was.
Bayless
That's why he was
fast,
just a
so I
special.
don't think.
Yeah, he's. I mean,
I was gonna say Bayless's nickname in college was V12 because
I feel like. I just feel like he's gonna end up on a similar path to Mario Rodgers in the sense that he gets drafted, they put him on special teams, he
He'll
sucks,
end up in
and he's
Minnesota
gone.
because we like to take those gadget guys and try, and it never works. Not one time.
Well, that's the thing. The Bears have hardly used him as a gadget guy. Like they did a little bit last year, and it kind of worked. But the problem is, you have
He
Tyler
sucks at
Scott
football.
now. Well, no, you have Tyler Scott now, and Tyler Scott,
Yeah.
even though he's more of a deep threat, has all the capabilities to be that gadget guy. If you want somebody to throw give pop passes to, or jet sweeps, or line up in the backfield, Tyler Scott can do all of that. And he was a better punt returner, and he can return kicks. And also, you have Dante Pettis, who's better at both of those things.
I was gonna
than
say,
Velus
he's
Jones.
a pretty good return too.
Like,
Yeah.
Velus, I loved the thought process because you look at a team that was the worst in the league at yards after catch, and you get the guy who had the most yards after catch in the country, and your quarterback signed off on him. I love that thought process. It just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a very valid first loser for Chicago here. That dude sucks. Now maybe he doesn't suck,
bad.
but he certainly did not have a good game.
He was kind of the only loser for Chicago, though. So like,
I don't know about that.
chilling.
You have to come up with more.
Yeah.
Justin Fields haters.
I'll come
What
up
do you
with
got?
one that's gonna also hurt Miller because he was just as high on dude. Andrew Booth Jr., man.
Andrew Booth.
Oh.
Andrew Booth. Throwing the
Sorry.
towel.
I've broken
Done.
up with Andrew Booth Jr. Tyler
He
Gordon
is.
is my Boothang now.
He may
Dude.
be cooked. Andrew Booth may be cooked.
It's
He might
tough.
just a little
Even
bit
watching him in practice, he's just now. Not only is he cooked, but now he's unlucky. He's getting
Yeah.
Did
fucking
he get hurt again?
no, but he's getting
Okay.
Lucky Jackson out there. He's tipping a pass before it gets to Lucky, bounces off his head, and he's able to like turn around and one-hand it to get the catch and go on. It's like, dude, even when he plays great coverage, he gets cooked. I don't know.
I mean,
He's over.
He was getting toasted
By
by the Seahawks,
everybody,
though, wasn't it?
dude. Yeah. It was rough.
Yeah,
And, like,
I did
I
see some
love
Andrew
Booth.
clips on Twitter.
I hope he's able to figure it out. Again, it's one game and it's one
You kind of need
preseason
him
game.
too. I mean, like,
Well, no, I think there's a Byron Murphy didn't play. Caleb Evans didn't play much. Mekhi Blackman didn't play much. It's kind of been established that a Caleb and Mekhi are above him on the depth chart. And Jawan Williams played really well. So Andrew Booth is kind of looking like the odd man out right now, and that really hurts. I was really excited for him. But
Fuck, man.
at this moment, it's not looking great, especially since
Man.
Jay Ward is also playing real well.
Yeah,
So,
Jay Ward is
good.
pretty good.
He's
I like
losing.
As far as I heard.
Yeah. It's
I'm glad
Andrew
you said
Booth is
him.
bad, is in a rough spot right now.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm glad Andrew Booth was the guy you were talking about, not the other Vikings defender that I really like.
Jay Ward.
No,
which
the
one?
other one.
What's the other one?
Gumby.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see a lot of him. Other than I was offended because he was wearing a really baggy long sleeve shirt, and it didn't make him look Slender Man enough, so I was mad.
He's trying to look bigger and scarier.
I don't want him to. I want him to be Slenderman. Andre Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, I really forgot he was a Viking.
Bro built like Gumby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second Packers loser. I hate to say it. And you don't want to be saying this about your first round pick. But Lucas Van Ness is a loser.
Oof.
Because if you thought he was raw, just watch the Bengals tape, and he is a lot more raw than you think.
Struggling against the backup Bengals O-line sounds bad.
And here's the thing, the bull rush didn't work.
Oh,
against
no.
the backups?
We're right.
He had like one good pass rush rep.
I win. I'm cooking.
So, he needs a lot of work. Now, so did Rashawn Gary.
Sure.
So there is hope. However, this first game.
Not however, because there was another way better edge rusher on the board that you could have had. That's the issue.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
For this game specifically, he's a big old loser, sadly. And Geek, you're gonna hate my last loser because you're gonna hate it. But
okay.
Miller, second Chicago Bears
Like I said,
loser.
fuck, I don't know. Everyone played really good.
Didn't you say something about Tyler Scott not being great or something like that?
He had one catch and he fumbled it. Like he's hardly a loser.
No, that's pretty loser material.
He played really good.
He was one
but
for one on bad plays. So
yeah, no, he actually returned punts and looked pretty good doing that.
Oh,
no, if I had to pick another loser, I'd say PJ Walker. Like it doesn't matter because he's still going to be QB2. It's not like he's going low on the depth chart, and it's not like PJ Walker's actually bad. I think he just got a little excited and like tried to do some shit that he can't do. Like I think PJ's,
PJ Moore throws got him in a different
right.
Dude,
like
I think that's what it is.
He's
feeling him. I think he still is. I think he doesn't give a fuck at all.
The first snap from scrimmage he had, it was a play action pass, and he just fucking shucked it down the left side of the field.
Fuck.
To the point where it was a weird throw because it like arced and went over the receiver's head, and the receiver turned around and was like, "Where the ball?" And it was just in the corner's hands behind him. Everybody was turned around facing PJ, and it was like the dumbest play ever. Like I said, I don't think PJ Walker's like bad now or anything. I think he was just genuinely feeling himself a little bit too much and got a little excited to be out there. And I think, I'm sure if he were to like come in and a game that mattered, he'd tone it down. But in the preseason, I'm sure
in the preseason, you're just fucking it. Let's ball.
Yeah. When you're a proven veteran in the preseason, or not even a proven veteran, but like when you're a guy who has a solidified spot in the preseason, he's
fuck it, we ball.
He's just chilling. Yeah. Literally, fuck it, we ball. That was the DJ Moore mentality.
Geek, who else was a loser in Minnesota there, pal?
Dwayne McBride looked awful.
That was the guy I was gonna ask about.
He looked bad, dude. Like actually atrocious. And I really hate that Kene Nwangwu is injured. So right now we're rocking.
How slow did he look?
Slow guy. He's a slow guy.
There's a reason Mike Davis and Kareem Hunt are in Minnesota trying out right now. There's a reason.
I like Dwayne McBride,
and it's because the three other running back spots are locked in. Madison, Nwangwu, and Ty Chandler. And Nwangwu, not even because he's a running back, but he's one of the best kick returners in the league, so you keep him no matter what. So you got one other spot, and McBride's going to lose it to somebody who's not on the roster. It's going to be Kareem Hunt or Mike Davis or somebody gross. and
It's tough.
I really
the
don't
boy.
want it to be Kareem Hunt specifically, because he'll take all of Ty Chandler's reps, so I don't want to see that. I would like to see like a Mike Day. Honestly, you know what I want? You know what I think the right answer is? Retirement tour Adrian Peterson. Just one last go. Let him.
Is he still in the league?
Technically, he hasn't
Faster than
officially
Dwayne
retired.
O'Brien.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh.
He's the GOAT.
But yeah,
Unfortunately, can't have number 28 though, because that belongs to Jacob Copeland.
yeah.
Who won't make the roster? He did.
Too bad. It's his number now.
But,
Oh my god.
yeah. But
You know,
we have
you
a
want to
little
talk
bit of,
about numbers? How about number 50
live-
in Detroit?
Listen, I think that's so funny. I
think
love
that's
it.
I hate it
hilarious.
so
Like
much.
Okay, I don't think he's actually going to wear it.
No,
I
it's
it's for
preseason.
one game. For
The re-
one
yeah, I was gonna say the
preseason game,
report
No,
I said
for
was
a preseason.
preseason.
Oh yeah, because
I
teams
hope
don't
that,
have
I hope he
numbers.
plays this weekend.
That's why
Yeah.
28's given
plays
out.
this weekend.
Because right now
Yeah.
it's still the 90-man roster.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of teams like the Vikings, the Bears, a lot of these teams have retired numbers, and they're
The
not
Bears
giving
have
those out.
Multiple guys wearing the same number.
Yeah, like it's just is what it is for right now. That's why I don't care. That's why I don't really care if a receiver goes into the regular season wearing 28. I'm gonna freak, but it's preseason, so I don't care. Other than 28 shouldn't be available at all. That should
What are
be
you
in the
gonna do?
rafters.
What would you do if Justin Jefferson was like, "Hey, I want to wear 28 now"?
That'd be tough. I don't know what I'd do. Cry. I'd cry. Because I don't know the answer to that, so I'd just cry.
What would you do if Harrison Smith?
Oh,
wanted to change
dude.
to
I think
28?
that would be
David Montgomery-
incredible.
David Montgomery yoinked Teddy's number, dude. He's gonna have to give it to him. Montgomery's wearing 5.
Oh.
What's Teddy
Monty
gonna wear?
Betta.
No.
Who's there first?
He was there first.
He's
Who
been in Detroit
cares?
longer than Teddy has been.
He was
He's
there
got
first, and he
seniority.
provides more value.
Until Teddy
True.
comes in and actually helps the Lions win games instead of hindering them like Jared Goff.
Right, this guy and his
Okay,
delusions.
we'll talk about that. We're talking
I don't
about
like
the NFC
Jared
North.
Goff. Give me Teddy.
Talking about the NFC North later. But
Teddy
we
Bennett.
have a little bit of live breaking news / rumors to talk about here as on the podcast. Nick Bosa, rumor at a training camp, is that he plans to hold out well into the 49ers regular season if he is not paid prior to its beginning. So, and
Viking.
that well into the regular season could mean
With
a lot.
what assets,
But-
buddy?
Cuzzo.
Nick Bosa is willing to
we
hold
got
out,
2 first-round picks to give for him.
quote,
They want
well
Cuzzo
into the
instead.
Niners season. If you're watching
You
on
remember what-
YouTube,
No, you remember what happened last time they had draft picks? They picked Trey Lance. How'd that go for him?
I couldn't acknowledge
Oh,
this.
I didn't know that's what happened. I thought you were making that face because I said they wanted Cuzzo.
Whoa. It's fixable. I can put it right back. It came like this. Like this part was attached when I got it.
See,
how to
this
fix
is
it
why
now.
you don't fuck with it all the time. That's
know,
the
but it
point.
popped off
Is
and
it just
scared
sits
me.
there so you can do this?
The entire episode is just Miller's just
Yeah, so far, yeah.
I'm having fun.
but yeah, moving on from Nick Bosa, because
no.
that's just a rumor at the current moment. My final loser for the Packers,
Oh yeah.
one of Geek's favorite positions, Anders Carlson, sucked and is probably not going to. He's their kicker, rookie kicker from Auburn. He's probably not going to make the roster, and they're probably going to sign somebody.
Mason
to replace him.
Crossbars coming back, baby.
He should come back. He'd probably be better. Carlson missed a couple extra points, missed a field goal, so
It's the
not looking
first
good for the old
preseason
guy.
game. Jake Moody didn't
I'm
look
sure
good
he
either,
might
so
be
it's
fine.
okay. Like,
But to be fair, we're doing losers of this game. Carlson
that's
is
bad.
definitely one. Yeah, he
from experience,
didn't
don't give up on kickers named Carlson too early, because we gave up
Yeah,
on
it's
Daniel
true.
Carlson and then
It's
he became
true,
the
yeah.
GOAT. So
yeah. So Miller, are you capable of talking? You
Yeah,
are.
Give me a second. I'm getting there.
everything's
All
fine.
right, Keith,
All
why
right,
don't
I
you
will
give your
skip
last loser
ahead.
while he's going here?
Oh man. So there are a couple people I can pick. I'm trying to figure out who I want it to be.
Kirk Cousins, because Nick Mullins is better.
I mean, Nick Mullins did ball out, and I love that for him. But
Justin Jefferson, because Addison Sparta are one now.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
No, I think so. There's two ways I could go about this. Either the starter, whose job I think is in trouble now, because he didn't play and both backups at his spot looked better, or
Harrison Smith.
Just another backup who just looked awful. And no, I wasn't talking about Harrison Smith. I was talking about Cam Bynum. I think Cam Bynum and both linebacker Troys, Reader and Dye, I think all three of them are ginormous losers.
I was gonna say, man, I really hope these guys are better than Troy Reader. To be fair, I mean,
well, he was signed as depth.
That bar's pretty low,
dude.
Yeah,
he got cooked twice, and I was like,
bro,
put Ivan Pace back in the game. This is gross.
Yeah,
this is awful. I need little number 40 back. Also, I need Marcus Davenport to give him number 0 yesterday. Ivan Pace belongs in 0. That's what Matt. But no, I'm gonna say Cam Bynum's the biggest loser because Jay Warden Lewis Seen looked awesome. So his job is in jeopardy, I would think.
See, Ivan Pace should wear 0 because that's how many starting linebackers in the NFC North he's better than.
Watch it.
Quay Walker exists.
Yeah, right? I was like, Quay Walker is a real person.
I'm even going to call my own guy here.
So we'll give him number 1. We'll give him number 1.
Honestly, if that means Greg Joseph has to wear we give him the ugliest looking number. I don't know what it would be on those uniforms, but we pick the ugliest one and give it to him.
80, he should wear 88.
No, 88 actually would look good in those uniforms because the way the action. The horn,
83? No.
You know, 88 would look
99.
okay. It's got to be something gross. Like 64.
67. 67,
yeah, 67 could be bad. Yeah. Give that to him because I hate him. He almost missed a kick, and it made me nearly scream. Because Daniel Carlson should be our kicker, but Mike Zimmer's a freak, so... Well, you know, the rookie kicker you drafted in the 4th round missed a kick this one time, so you cut him. What are we doing? Zimmer and his hate for rookies will never be it. That's why I'm like confident in Ivan Pace right now, is because I know Flores doesn't have that bias against rookies. He's going to start whoever the best player is. He doesn't give a fuck.
Real.
Like, Zimmer had this. Justin Jefferson didn't start for 6 weeks because Zimmer was like, nah, rookies sit. It's like, no, based. Dude. Not based.
Miller, can you come up with a third loser?
Yeah, no, I got one. And it's kind of the same thing with Geeks, where you have a starter and the backups were playing really well. I gotta say Deontay Foreman. Because Roshan Johnson looked awesome. I mean, Roshan, he didn't break away anything huge. He had that 124-yard run, but he was everything I expected him to be, which is Mr. Consistent. He had a lot of David Montgomery-like plays. He was fighting really hard after contact. His first snap on the field, it was either Nathan Peterman or PJ Walker, I can't remember, because it wasn't Tyson Bagent, who also played awesome. They threw him a screen pass, and they led him directly into a defensive end on the screen. And Roshan should have been stopped for like a loss of 4, and he managed to turn it into a neutral play, which was really cool. And then he broke off a bunch of tackles. He was pass blocking really well. They had him catching the ball out of the backfield in other ways. Like, they had him doing a lot, and then responded by having him run with the ones a lot this week. So, no disrespect to Deontay Foreman. I still think he's an amazing running back. But when you have a guy who is essentially just the Deontay Foreman, like, he would play the Deontay Foreman role, but be a little more versatile and bring more as like a pass catcher and as a blocker, you got to feel a little worried. because like this team, it's not like the Bears are actively looking for a Deontay Foreman replacement. They say that Roschon got brought in because it was a value thing. They didn't think he'd be around in the 4th round, and they picked him up in the 4th round because he was. And so you look at that, and it's like, okay, there's a chance that the Deontay Foreman signing could be canceled out, and I think it will because I'm really, really high on Roschon. And I think by the end of the year, we're going to see Roschon and Herbert as the clear 1 and 2, or 1A and 1B even. Whoever you have on top is whoever you have on top. But then that brings in Travis Homer as the 3rd down back. And, like, the Bears will probably carry 4 halfbacks, but I don't know how much usage all 4 are going to get. And I think if Roschon keeps playing like this, granted, it's the preseason, I know. But if he keeps playing like this, it's really going to cut into Foreman snaps more than it would like Herbert's.
All right, well, yeah, those are our little preseason talks for every single one of our teams here. Yeah, we hit everything. We talked about some losers, winners, some rookies.
Are we not talking about all the rookies?
Rookies.
I feel like we didn't talk about a few rookies, but I don't know who all we didn't. Mention.
Like who? Like from our teams, or
yeah,
Darnell Wright.
I mean, I mentioned.
Good. I was impressed with Darnell Wright. The wide receiver conditioning clearly had an effect because that dude is fast. Like there was a toss play to Herbert where it was so perfectly blocked by him, Tevin Jenkins, and Cole Kmet out on the right side, and Darnell Wright was almost running stride for stride with Kmet, which was really funny. And then on the Herbert touchdown, if you watch the back end, I actually tweeted about this and it got a little bit of traction. If you watch the back end, Darnell Wright gets beat off the snap because the other dude was just quick, and he didn't beat off the snap. He got beat off the snap. Okay, you were a child. You were a 13-year-old boy.
So I'm you every time we record this podcast. My bad.
Shut up. Some of us are mature and want to talk about real important things. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Jake.
So
sorry you have to deal with me and Miller.
So anyway, he gets beat off the snap.
I wasn't going to say.
And his recovery speed was fantastic. Like, he literally flipped his hips like he was a goddamn safety out there and got in front of the guy, set his anchor, and bought Fields an extra, 2 seconds to roll out to the other side and get that pass off to Herbert. And there were a couple plays like that. Granted, he didn't play, the entire game or anything, but the little bit he did play, I was really impressed by him.
Jordan Addison looked good. He got 2 targets. Good. He technically had 1 catch and 1 incompletion, but it was actually a catch. The refs are in mid-season form. The gentlest of toe drags. It was actually pretty great. That's the clip of him that kept circulating Twitter that day. Where everybody's like, nobody actually believed he made this catch, so they called it incomplete. He actually did, so that was cool. And then Jaron Hall looked okay. The Vikings' backup offensive line is tough. It's tough. You definitely don't want the starters to get hurt. The backups are rough.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But Jaron Hall looked okay.
Bears rookie DTs looked nice.
Nice.
Zach Pickens looked so quick off the snap. I'm starting to fall in love with the guy. He was who I was lower on out of the 2 DTs for sure. And then I got really worried because they were talking about him playing nose, which no, please God, no. He is the worst run defending DT God has ever put on this planet. But God, is he a good pass rusher? Oh my God, it's I like him as a rotational. You put him in on 3rd down, you used him on stunts, things like that. He can cook on obvious passing downs, as a rotational defensive lineman, and he showed that. I think he looked really nice. And then Gervon Dexter, I'm conflicted with, because he was firing off the ball. He wasn't just mirroring the offensive line, but he's not quite where he needs to be, and there's 2 trains of thought with it. I was talking to my dad, and my dad's a very old school football fan. He's not a big fan of oh, this guy's got all this potential. He's like, no, he's gonna come in and he's either gonna do this or he's gonna do that. He kind of thinks little stuff like the fundamentals, such as firing off the ball. You are what you are coming out of college, which to a certain extent, sure. So I was talking to him about it, and he was like, I don't understand why you're celebrating him kind of getting off the ball. But then I look at it as, okay, this guy, his entire collegiate career was told to mirror offensive linemen, allegedly, which dumbest thing I have ever heard. Why would you tell a defensive tackle to mirror the offensive line ever?
Great question.
So now his first real game where he's not doing that, he's obviously going to have issues. Like, it wasn't like every single play he was slow off the ball. It was a consistency thing. Like, some plays he would fire off the ball and be engaged before the offensive lineman could stand up, and it's like, yes, more of this. This is what we want. This is what we're hoping we get. This big, freaky, athletic dude that's built like DeForest Buckner, right? And then other plays, it was like, not Florida bad, but still not good. To the point where it's like, oh no, Javon, honey, listen, we gotta pick it up, bud. And then, I just realized I called him honey. I meant to call him bud. That's tough. And then the other thing, like his pass rushing arsenal really concerned. Sorry, I really just threw myself off. I've been watching too much Brett Coleman, and he'll call players sweetie, like to be funny. And I think my brain tried to be like Brett Coleman, and it didn't hit. But anyways,
you got scared of it. You just gotta hit him with the "aw, sweetie."
No,
going.
I didn't get scared. It's just the fact that I used honey instead of sweetie threw me off. I had to double check myself. But anyways, the other thing is like pass rushing tool belt. His arsenal really was like underwhelming, and that concerns me too. Because like coming out, I didn't see a lot of concerns with what he, his moveset and whatnot. But I also wasn't like blown away by it. So I was like, oh, okay, he's got the basics. He can build on it. And I didn't see like any of that. So it's tough. He was very 50-50 for me, but Zach Pickens was great. And that makes me happy because I was more worried about him.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of talked about the Packers rookies. Carlson, bad. Brooks, good. Van Ness, very raw. Valentine was fantastic. Jaden Reed was sick. I like Jaden Reed. He's going to be a good returner for us, I think. But those are really the main guys who got time. Quickly, before we get into this whole record prediction thing, obviously there were a couple of running backs who landed in the AFC East this past couple of days. Dalvin Cook is a New York Jet, and Ezekiel Elliott is a New England Patriot. Gentlemen, general thoughts on these two
Dalvin
signings?
signing makes me really sad.
Both of them make me sad.
No, the Dalvin
Ramondre
one
is too
especially.
good. Ramondre
Yeah.
is so good, and
I know, but
the only
This is
snaps
true.
Zeke is gonna take are like short yardage and red zone snaps, which is where
Yeah.
I'd rather have Ramondre because he's better.
Yeah, true. No, the Cook one really makes me sad because I get it. Like, you want to take the pressure off Breece Hall because he's coming back off his ACL tear, and I get that completely. But I love the running back room they had behind Hall. Like, I love
Carter's
Michael
on a
Carter.
good night.
I love Israel
Johnson.
Abanikanda. No, Ty Johnson's gone. But the other three, Bam Knight,
Is he?
Abanikanda, and Michael Carter, I liked. So, like, Dalvin, like, it's not a anti-Dalvin Cook thing. Like, he's probably better. But I'm sad because I wanted those guys to get touches. I wanted those guys to have their opportunities. But also fuck the Jets because they did do Ty Johnson pretty dirty.
They did.
Yeah, he got hurt, and they asked him to get surgery on something, and then as soon as he healed from the surgery, they cut him to trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, but so they could have cut him without having him get the surgery, and he'd fail a physical and not be able to play. Have to pay for the surgery out of pocket. They didn't do him dirty.
Yeah.
They got him the surgery and then cut him and then gave him a
They
shot.
cut him. They cut him. That's
That's
why they did him dirty. Okay, I gotta push my Western Maryland agendas here. Okay,
Yeah.
dude's from my hometown. I gotta bump him when I can.
You know,
Hey,
weirdly, speaking of the Jets, Hard Knocks, the way Zach Wilson
Really
is
good.
handling this whole thing, I kind of love it. He's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Maybe my original
I got
take on him
replaced.
will work out
Let's-
after all.
The willingness to just fuck it. Rodgers is here. Nothing I can do about that. I'm not beating him. So let's learn everything we can from one of the greatest to ever do it. I
haven't
love
watched Hard
instead of
Knocks
being
yet, but
all
that's a dub.
salty and just like,
Yeah, the first
he's
episode
like,
was
nah, let's
crazy
let's
good.
figure this out. Let's go. And I
Rodgers
can
was not-
respect that.
How much Nick Bodden content is there in the first episode of Hard Knocks?
None. I don't know.
I'm
Zero.
not watching. I will not be watching until I know my
My favorite part of the
glorious
episode,
Nick
I
Bodden's
forget who it was. My favorite part of the episode was when one of the Jets defensive linemen called the charcuterie board a charcuterie board.
Yeah,
I thought that was really
charcuterie.
funny. I thought that was really funny.
No,
Oh, no, I
my
gotta
favorite
watch
was
it,
the
'cause I love
Jets
Quentin
defensive
Williams.
coordinator.
Quentin Williams is a
'Cause-
funny dude.
yeah.
That guy, he's a funny dude.
Dude, the Jets defensive coordinator was so mad because Aaron Rodgers exists. He's like, in any other world, this is a sack or it's a pass, like it's an incomplete pass. But we got the
this
only
guy-
motherfucker on this planet who's gonna hit this throw opposite hash over two guys just right in the bucket. There ain't another quarterback in this league who's gonna do that.
Literally,
So
the
what I can
entire
say to
first-
you guys is no matter what,
Yeah.
we're gonna be in games.
The entire episode, the first episode of Hard Knocks was
just Rodgers
them showing
glazing.
a clip of Aaron Rodgers doing something like insane, and then cutting to the defensive coordinator just like, what am I supposed to do? What am I
Yeah.
supposed to do about this guy?
Dude,
Literally
and it
just for
wasn't
an
like
hour.
average Rodgers throws either. They were like
No, he was going-
incredible
yeah,
dots.
He was, I don't
And
know
the
what he's-
defensive coordinator just like
Okay, well,
fucking 12, bro. Well, 8.
That's
sorry.
Listen, that's why the Chiefs defense always sucks out the gate, because they spend all this time going against Mahomes, and Steve Spagnuolo's like, dude, I give up. And by the time the season starts, he's just so defeated, and then they start going against quarterbacks that aren't Mahomes, and he's like, wait a minute, I can stop these guys.
Oh, wait, I know how
And
to
then
do
that's why the
this.
Chiefs that's why the Chiefs defense always starts out shitty and then picks up at like mid-season.
Watch
he's-
the
he'll-
Jets
he'll-
defense do that.
he'll be watching film on their next opponent, and he'll just be like, wait,
Dude, I
Wait
want to
a
go to
minute.
every
Wait,
Jets
why didn't
practice,
he-
though.
wait.
Yeah.
There was a guy. There was a guy who was placed perfectly in the middle of triple coverage, and he didn't throw it.
Yeah,
didn't
dude, he could have
hit
hit him if he like threw it across his body and dove. Why
Yeah,
didn't
all he had to do was
And they're
throw it
playing,
behind
like,
his back.
they just got done playing like the fucking Patriots, and he's looking at Mac Jones, and he's like,
Mac Jones.
wait a minute.
Should've
He's
kept it
human.
Yeah,
There's humans playing quarterback.
Oh, dude.
but
Garrett Wilson and Sauce
Yeah,
would be so
Garrett
fun
Wilson
to
and
watch
Sauce.
every day. Just watching
those
those
two-
clips in camp is
they're
great.
sick. Yeah, those two.
Garrett will
those
get
two are
him,
good-
then
a good
Sauce will
battle.
get him. It's so good, dude.
Plus, like, they're two like awesome personalities. I love Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Jets.
Brees Hall's like that too.
Even without
I love
Rodgers,
that
the
team,
Jets would have been
dude.
a cool Hard Knocks choice this year, just because of all the guys that got on that team.
I hate how much I like
Winning's
that team.
great.
And Rodgers, for whatever reason, on Hard Knocks,
He was
dude,
never the bad guy. I'm telling
he
you,
never
man.
was. It was always the Packers. The Packers
This
were the
dude
I'm
is
villains.
starting to think, yeah,
Aaron
I don't
Rodgers
know.
is a very good, very just genuinely cool person. I think.
The more I hear about him out of Green Bay, the more I think just being with the Packers fucked up his vibes and his energy
pretty
so
sure.
bad.
Dude, he's a
Yeah,
California
maybe
kid.
bad.
I think that's just it. Like,
Yeah, like,
Green Bay
you
was
guys
just bad.
know- Like, you
for
know how
him.
when you're around somebody that is always like in a really bad mood or is always like mad, it rubs off on you and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start to feel that way. I feel like that was just the entire building there, and Rodgers was just taking the brunt of it because he had to deal with the most bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, and he's
Like, if
the
we
big
find out that
name.
was-
And, yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, if we find out that was the case, I wouldn't be shocked.
No,
Yeah, no.
It's the thing. Just watching how his interactions would go, because I used to actually watch the Pat McAfee show. Kind of stopped. It's kind of gotten really stupid.
Yeah, really stupid, and Pat McAfee kind of sucks.
I sold
He's
out.
just started to
Yeah.
suck. It's off. And it's not even the ESPN thing. Everybody's like, it's the ESPN move. Nothing's changed
No,
yet. He's just
His ego
weirdo.
is just
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's been
Yeah.
he's been pretty rough.
like. Do you remember the whole Brett Coleman thing that happened?
Yeah.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Like that was. What was the point of that?
Because McAfee's McAfee. But
Right.
watching Rodgers on that show, where I would literally hear him say these words and like all of the context, and then immediately read a headline that's entirely not what he said. It's like, wait a minute, dude, Rodgers didn't say that. Hold on. I don't want to like Rodgers, but I also have always liked Rodgers. I respect the greatness. That's kind of always been my thing. I can respect the greatness. And that dude just does things with a football no other human.
I think something that's really good about it is just like him just straight up going against this whole narrative of he hates all the young quarterbacks on his team when he's just like
coaching up Zach Wilson.
He's just talking to Zach Wilson. He's like, you gotta do this.
He hated Jordan Love.
Pretty sure he just hated Jordan Love.
And that makes me really confident because I think that means Jordan Love's gonna suck.
I really think so. I don't Love at all. I get bad vibes. Love does not pass the vibe check.
Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott both mess on us in my eyes. The value isn't great on either of their contracts, especially not Zeke.
No, the value's it's not great. It's bad.
The Zeke contract is terrible. Yeah. I would not have given him anywhere near that amount of money, especially not if I had Ramondre Stevenson on my team already, or Breece Hall on my team already, or Michael Carter on my team already.
Without Tony, because they're without Tony Pollard.
Without Tony Pollard. Even without Tony Pollard, I mean, even with Tony Pollard, I mean, they were a good, they were a good 1-2 punch. But bad value on both contracts. Neither of the teams needed the guys they got. These are guys just. Dalvin Cook just wants a ring, which I understand. So I would choose to be there if I could. Yeah. So Zeke obviously isn't because he's playing in the worst team in the division,
feel like he could have.
Mac Jones is his quarterback. So
I feel like he could have ring
went
chased
somewhere and made an impact.
Zeke could have went somewhere.
Not only could he ring chase, he could have made a legitimate impact.
He could have gone to the Chargers and made a good impact.
He should have went to the Chargers. There is no reason why Ezekiel Elliott should not be a Los Angeles Charger
right now. They never
now.
Called.
It might not. They might have.
That would be the only reason, unless Kellen Moore went in there and he said, "Listen, I do not want to fucking coach this guy again." True. Which if he did,
Kellen Moore might just hate him.
Sure.
I don't think I see that though.
I don't either. That's the thing. Their backup running backs are
whoever
not
the
good.
fuck their GM is though. I could see him just being like, "Nah, I'm out." Jake, you unplugged your mic or something. I hear nothing.
I'm just saying the connection makes so much sense.
Okay. You talk and no sound. Sorry, you're good now.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Chargers fans really like Joshua Kelly, and they think that he's gonna be a really solid RB2. So I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, neither of these signings really move the needle too much for me because Breece Hall is gonna be RB1, and Dalvin Cook, he can make an impact on an offense still.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know how much he's going to have to do that in New York with Breece Hall and with their running back room. With Rodgers, they're going to pass the ball a lot more. So.
I think that's why he's there. Because I think he's a better pass-catching back than Breece. Hall is going to get the majority of the rushing snaps. Dalvin's going to be just the more pass-catching back, just catching screens and making stuff happen because he can still do that.
Pretty much.
I think he's Rodgers' safety valve because the tight ends aren't great. So Dalvin's gonna exist.
Let's move into talking about our preseason prediction kind of thing, record predictions for the AFC and the NFC North today. Now, my suggestion on how we run this is we just go from last to first place. We all go around and say who we have in whatever place we're on, and then we each say our record prediction and then our floor and ceiling for each team. So we'll start with the AFC North.
I just want to throw a little disclaimer out here. I thought I was going to have more time to prepare this today than I did, but I didn't. So this might be a little sloppy. But I'm still going to stand by it.
I prepared mine during the episode, so stop it.
Last place.
That's my point. I prepared it in 20 minutes. I just didn't get a ton of time to think on it, is my point.
Yeah. Last place in the AFC North. Start us off. Who wants? Should I?
I got the Browns. I just needed.
Since you started, so
I just took
Browns record prediction.
I got him
ceiling floor.
So the one I actually have as a record prediction is 9-8, but I can see them as a 6-11 team. But I can also see them as a 12-5 team. Poor Jake. I'm just saying the words, bro.
Okay, so I guess I'll go next. And last place, I have this is written down an hour before this episode. I have the Browns at 9-8 with a ceiling of 12-5 and a floor of 6-11. So
Miller, what you got?
Yeah,
at the last place team.
I also have the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
at 9-8. That was the record.
Let's go.
Floor ceiling, I would say about 12-5. And floor
Cook.
probably like 6 and 11.
I'm really hoping we
I kind of hope we're just
ourselves a
so
little bit here.
consensus. It would be so good.
So I guess we don't have to worry about our consensus for this one because our consensus is the Browns 9-8 in last place in this division.
Go.
Now, the question is, Geek, who do you have in third in this division?
The Steelers at 9-8.
Goodness, man.
I'm different. I'm slightly different.
Let's go.
What's your floor and ceiling, Geek?
See, I think honestly their floor is 9-8 because Mike Tomlin made a deal with the devil and can't have a losing record. But I also think their ceiling is like 10-7. Like I actually just think they're just a 500 team. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
The Steelers. I also have the Steelers in third at 9-8. I have their ceiling as 11-6 and their floor as 7-10. Because if they're not going to have a winning record, it's going to be like 2 games below it. So it'll be 7-10.
I have the Steelers at 10-7.
Whoa!
I mean,
slightly
one game
different.
difference there. Yeah.
With a floor of like 7-10 and a ceiling of like 11-6.
I mean, I think 11's like their absolute max. I don't think they get any more than 11. We're just looking at their schedule.
I think the Browns have a higher ceiling than Pittsburgh, but I think Pittsburgh will end up being better.
Yeah, but also like the Browns' floor is a lot.
Yeah,
I think
it all rides on.
I think their floors are the same length of low because it's still a quarterback question both ways.
Yeah, both ways. But the thing is, like, the Steelers' defense is still really good, and Mike Tomlin's still their head coach.
That's
so
true.
Even if Kenny Pickett isn't,
that's fair.
You guys know.
Thing,
you guys know me and Miller's Kenny Pickett takes.
I don't
into this
see
season,
Kenny Pickett being any worse than he was last year, and Kenny Pickett last year was better than Deshaun Watson last year.
The question is how good is Deshaun Watson?
Literally, if we trot out both quarterbacks at the same level, Pittsburgh has a higher ceiling. Or higher floor, excuse me.
Yeah.
But like, this is part of this.
If we get both QBs at their peak, the Browns have a higher ceiling.
If we get both QBs at their peak, the Browns probably win that division.
Right, that's my point.
Say,
like 12, 13 wins.
This is like all part of this preseason prediction thing. On a serious note, what are we expecting out of Deshaun Watson this season?
Still seeing him in practice. The Browns have done everything they can to have every post-baby Deshaun Watson. What quarterback can make this throw in every single one of them? I could make every one of those throws every time.
My favorite one was the one where it said he was making it look easy and he was standing 5 yards away from one of those net things and he just doinked it into the middle one.
I promise I would hit that 10 out of 10. I would hit that 10 out of 10. I promise.
It's crazy.
But so
realistically,
I think the Browns know he's bad and are trying to hide it. I really think he's... Dude, taking over a year off of football doesn't work. We saw it with Lev Bell, and it wasn't like he was rehabbing. He was just sitting at home, jerking off all day. Probably shouldn't say that when it comes to Deshaun.
Yeah, okay. There's a reason why we all have the Browns last in this division. Because like we said, if Deshaun Watson was at his peak, they're winning this division. But all three of us have them in last. So that should be saying something about our expectations.
I'm happy I no longer said the most out-of-pocket thing in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
My bad. Chat.
But this one could be where we differentiate a bit.
I think we will.
Geek, who do you have in second?
The Bengals at 12-5.
God damn it! I thought we were going to be different. You asked like
I've been high on the Ravens all year. What do you mean?
We all have. This is a Ravens podcast.
It's a Ravens podcast. But I got the Bengals at 12-5. With a floor of like 10-7 and a ceiling of like probably 14-3. The Bengals could just go nuclear.
I also have the Bengals at 11-6.
Okay.
With a floor of 10-7 and a ceiling of 13-4.
See, we were different everywhere except the floor. It's okay.
I have the Bengals at 11-6 with a floor of 10-7 and a ceiling of 14-3.
Miller is just the mix of us both. Heard.
Does this mean I'm the weird love child of you two?
I guess so, yeah.
You're welcome for that
Jake's
imagery,
just not
everybody.
talking again, like he's talking, but there's no noises.
You're welcome for that imagery.
Am I back?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what
you're
you're
back.
doing over there, but
Yeah,
it
we're
keeps
so back.
happening.
So that leaves us to say that all three of us have the Ravens in first place, but it's all a matter of the record. I know I'm going to be different here because you both have, but go for it.
I have them at 12-5. I have all the teams. The Steelers and Browns are tied. The Ravens and Bengals are tied.
Oh man,
Just
I'd say
divisional
something outlandish
record.
to throw this thing off. DTR is going to be the starter in Cleveland by week 6. There we go.
Dude, DTR looked awesome.
Oh
So
my
good.
God.
So
Also,
good.
Miller, how does it feel
So
that me and
good.
Jake were right?
So good. So good.
I mean,
so
he
good.
played one
He's-
preseason
DTR
game.
the
Who?
GOAT. Oh, you're
I was
hyping
more
up the
impressed by
entire
Malik
Bears
Cunningham.
team. Malik was cool,
The
which
Cunningham was-
has me so hyped. I was the only one of us who liked Malik.
I was
cooking.
more excited. I was more impressed
Also,
and excited by Malik Cunningham than I
Geek
was
totally
DTR.
called the whole Belichick using him as a receiver thing. That's where he got 90% of his snaps from, is playing receiver.
Yeah. But he looked awesome
but
at quarterback, too. He's actually just going to be a
I,
piece for them, and I love it. But Ravens ceiling,
Fuck Taysom Hill.
it's
Hill got
everything's
nothing
the
on
same
Malik
as the
Cunningham.
Bengals, dude. Barring injury,
I have-
which put the Ravens at like 2.
I have the Ravens at
90.
12-5. I have them at a ceiling of 14-3 and a floor of 9-8. Things could go south for them because of that defense.
Oh.
So, yeah.
All right, I have the Ravens at 13-4
Yeah.
Oh,
with a ceiling of 14-3. 14-3.
14 and throw.
Words are hard. I have literally been recording videos for the past 4 hours.
He's right.
Which I know is
Whoopee.
nothing for you, Geek. I know it's nothing for you. I don't understand how you do it. That's my point here.
Because I cook.
Hey, Miller,
That's what I
Miller,
do.
I know how he does it. Okay? It's how he eats. Understand?
Oh, that's fair.
You understand because like
He's
that
saying it puts food on the table.
yeah,
for
that's how
you.
you make money. So you kind of have to.
I was thinking, what? I don't know what I eat
that's
that
your
makes this so
motivation.
weird. I see now. I was like, what? What do you mean
Yeah.
what I eat? I don't know.
And no, I think they're.
That's
I think
wings
the floor's a little
earlier.
bit higher. I think they're like 10-7.
Yeah. Like I've been talking about this all year.
Listen, I'll put it this way: I'm not going to predict injury, and also they fired like their entire athletic training staff and replaced them, so I'm going to hope they're better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I was talking about this. Lamar's my might not even be dark horse anymore, but he's my MVP pick. They're my dark horse Super Bowl pick. Like I'm super high on this team this year, especially bringing in Monken and getting rid of that guy. And so moving into the AFC North counterpart over in the NFC, we're all gonna have the same answer for last place, and I hate it. But
Are we?
last place. Can I go first?
Yeah,
Can I
go
start
ahead.
Green Bay
Yeah, rip the
Packers.
Band-Aid off.
7-10 record prediction, with a ceiling of 10-7 and a floor of 5-12. They probably won't be very good this year. I'm okay with that. I don't think they should be very
Right.
good this year. I'm not expecting
Can I go
anything.
second?
Sure, buddy.
But
I have the Packers.
yes, sir.
6-11.
Oh,
Yeah, that's completely fair.
With a floor of 5-12,
Yeah.
a ceiling of 10-7.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with you, ceiling of floor.
yeah.
Haha, Packer bad. Jordan Love go.
I'm not gonna make a judgment on him yet. I just don't think the offense is gonna.
I'm also
year.
not seriously. It's just
Yeah.
funny to shit on Jordan.
No, yeah,
Love.
no, I understand. Yeah,
I got the Packers at 7-10.
yes, sir.
With a floor of 5-12, ceiling of 9-8, 10-7.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, we all
You
just
heard it
so
here first,
agreed on the
folks.
Packers. That's
Consensus
wild.
Packers bad. Lose game.
Miller,
They
if
are
we
gonna
all
be bad this
agree,
year,
does
man.
that mean they're gonna somehow win the division?
Don't you fucking dare manifest
not.
that or put that in the universe.
scared.
they may end up having the best defense in the division. That won't matter too
I can
much.
see
though.
that. I think they will.
Just based on practice, their defense is gonna be sick, but I'm not sure if the offense.
But I also
kind of
hope their defense starts out like it did last year and just sucks.
The Packers do this thing, and they've done this thing for a while, where their units can't be good at the same time. So if the defense is good, the offense is just gonna.
And then Jordan Love will figure it out, and the defense will forget what a football is.
Yeah. In like week 12, Jordan Love will throw for like 315 and 4 touchdowns, and the defense will give up 54 to whoever they're playing in week 12. Who would they be giving up 54 to?
Be somebody useful.
They'd be giving up 54
the
to
Lions.
the Detroit Lions. They could actually give up 54 to the Lions, so we'll take that.
Yeah.
Third place, I guess I'll just keep going first here. The Bears.
Mm-hmm.
At 8-9, I've got them. 10-7 ceiling, 6-11 floor, I believe. I believe they have the same ceiling as the Packers.
Miller, can I go?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I think. No. I don't think 8-9 is unreasonable for them at all.
No,
not this year. I think they'll probably win again 10-7. I think they have a way better chance of hitting their ceiling than the Packers do. But yeah.
I also have the Bears at 8-9.
This is terrible. Can we post this episode?
10-7. At a floor of I don't know, 6-11. I don't know.
Oh,
what are we as a group?
I can't believe this. We're gonna have to start disagreeing on these next.
Guys,
this is so incredible.
It's okay. I have the Lions in third.
Let's go. I like it.
Biased, but yeah.
I like it though.
No, it's not biased.
I get it.
I have them at 9 and 8. I have them with a floor of 7 and 10, a ceiling of 11 and 6. I get the hype with the offense, but I don't know if I trust Jared Goff to replicate that type of performance 2 years in a row.
This is true.
I love Ben Johnson. He's a wonderful offensive mind. And then the defense, I know I talked up their secondary when I did my Lions preview, and Geek and I have gone back and forth with it, but I'm starting to see where the issues could arise. And I honestly think more than anything, the Lions are overrated.
Mm-hmm.
They're not this.
Sure.
They're. I don't know. I just don't think they're this fantastic team. I think they're good. I think they're fine. 9 and 8's a respectable record, but they're not. They're not some fantastic football team.
True. Yeah. No, respectable. I respect that. If he comes out and says he got the Vikings in second, though, we riot.
Yeah, I would freak out. Okay.
Yeah. But in second place, I have the Detroit Lions at 10-7, with a ceiling of 12-5 and a floor of 8-9. A ceiling in a perfect world where Jared Goff does replicate it. I think the defense is better. Ben Johnson returns. Even Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. Jameson Williams comes back eventually. Amon-Ra is still very good. Sam Laporta works out, which we know he won't. But if he did, that would be the ceiling.
Doesn't seem like
Jameson's
Jameson's going to work out either. Did you see him in the preseason games?
No, he was bad. Yeah,
that was atrocious, dude.
I'm just saying, this is if they hit their ceiling, this is what would need to happen.
Yeah.
But more realistically, 10-7, because those things probably won't happen. Defense might not be fantastic. I think Goff's going to be just a little bit worse than last year, but I think the other pieces that they've added can pick up the slack. So Brian Branch is going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year, and so that's all I need.
All right.
Geek.
I've got the Lions at 8-9. I think they're on the same level as the Bears. Actually.
Oh.
And
yeah.
I don't think Jared Goff can replicate it. I don't care how good you think Ben Johnson is. Goff couldn't replicate seasons with Sean McVay. He's not doing it with Ben Johnson either. Sorry. I can't.
That's fair.
And the weapons, good running back room. Amon-Ra is good. Who do they got outside of Amon-Ra? They got me? They got me. Maybe. Maybe not even me. I don't know. So
I got Grayson.
Oof, that's rough. That's gonna bring team morale down and team IQ. No, but I got him at 8-9. A floor. Honestly, if Jared Goff is as bad as he could be, they could be a 5-win team.
This wide receiver room is
dude.
rough.
If Jared Goffs, they could be easily the worst.
The wide receiver two right now
the Lions are so boomer bust to me.
30-something-year-old Marvin Jones. And then it's Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, and
It's
Denzel
funny that you think they're
Mims.
boomer bust, but you have them finishing right in the middle.
Yeah, because I
pretty
still
funny.
kind of feel like that's them booming. Because I don't think they're. I think 10-7 is like max for them. You forget their schedule isn't super easy. You got the Chiefs, you got the Chargers, you got the Ravens. The Raiders could beat them. The Broncos could be better, depending on. I don't know. If we're giving Jared Goff credit, I'm going to give Russ credit because Russ has been consistently better.
Yeah, no.
So
I mean, outside of
The
maybe
only
the
one I don't agree with
Falcons-
there is the Raiders. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
the Raiders are
going
going
to
to beat
stink
them.
this year.
yeah, I don't think they're going to be that good.
The
But
Raiders are
there's
gonna stink
always
this
the
year.
world where you.
I mean, any given Sunday,
Well,
you know.
that
But I'm
and
saying, like,
just
I'm not.
like,
I also
hey,
think-
I don't know.
disagree
Devontae
with
could just
this,
like murder.
But I also think the Lions are probably going to sweep the NFC South. So
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Panthers or Falcons can get a win off of them, but I think they'll
I
sweep
think
the
even the
rest.
Saints could. That Saints offense is scary.
It could be good.
I feel like it might
Alvin
be scary.
Kamara. Alvin
Kamara
Kamara was
looked
very good.
good.
I know he's going to be suspended, but
Michael
he's going to be
Thomas
very good when he
looked
comes
good.
back.
Derek Carr.
Olave is good.
Honestly,
Derek Carr
feels
is decent.
The Saints are going to
Ron
be
Johnson's a
so
surprisingly good tight end.
Raiders. They're going to be so Raiders. They're going to finish like 9-8, and their offense is going to be awesome, and Derek Carr is going to fucking shred, but their defense is going to be just atrocious. We'll get into that more in the South talk, but yeah. Lions mediocre, probably bad.
And Miller. I got my order thrown off.
That's got to be racist. Just because we're both big guys with beards and glasses, you think we're the same person?
I mean, I'm the exact same thing, just minus the glasses.
Exactly,
You don't
so
actually
you're
wear
racist.
glasses, so
He's wearing them right
What
now.
are these? Yeah.
What are
blue light
those?
glasses. And if he were to take them off, he would see that the stem on his right eye is completely broken off and fake. So yeah, go ahead, Miller. Talk about the Bears.
Yeah, I have the Bears at 10-7. So, copium. No, I'm kidding.
I'm cool.
I have them at 10-7 with a floor of like 7-8 wins, ceiling of like 12. And 12 is like everything clicks on offense. Fields has the MVP type season, and the secondary does a lot of heavy lifting on defense, because that's the hang up for me. I have no doubts about the offense. I have none. And it's not like the preseason high. This is like on paper. I have no doubts in this offense. I trust Fields. I trust this offensive line. I trust the weapons. I trust our linebacker core. I trust our secondary. It's just a matter of what's going to happen with the front four. And if that's not even true, it's the front three, because I like Andrew Billings a lot as the nose tackle. So it's kind of the 3 tech and the 2 ends that I'm worried about. And see, not even that, because we have Yannick Ngakoue now. So it's 2 guys on the defensive line. And you see, like, this is the mental math that starts happening. Like, the guy opposite of Yannick is going to be a concern, no doubt about it. And whoever's going to be playing at 3 tech, whether it's Justin Jones or Jervon Dexter, I'm going to have my issues with. I'm going to be concerned about. So the world where we fail is just teams start running all over us and we can't get any pressure on the quarterback whatsoever, and our secondary falls apart because they're out there trying to cover too much ground for too long. And then the world where things work out is Yannick Ngakoue kind of uplifts the guy on the other side, and someone like Justin Jones does just enough to be okay. And the secondary can hold up long enough to beat a couple teams, like, you know, the Browns, for example, would be a team that I would consider like a 50-50 game, or, you know, take a game from the Vikings or take a game from the Lions or whatever. Like, when I did the record predictions, I literally had the Bears splitting with everybody except the Packers. So I had them splitting with the Lions. I had them splitting with the Vikings. Maybe a little bit of that's biased.
You went in week
but
1, but yeah, you're not sweeping this.
it's not, I don't even think that's ridiculous. Like, I think the
Not
Packers,
ridiculous,
the
but
second
not
game
good.
is a throw, like a 50-50. And it's like I had them win that, but I also had them lose like the Broncos game or something. Like, I think there's quite a few games that if the Bears defense can hold up enough to allow the Bears offense to get into a shootout and cook, they can win games. And I also think the run game is going to be big for us this year. So I think 10-7 is pretty reasonable as like a not best case, but pretty good case.
Yeah.
Because for me, 10-7 is probably enough to get like the 6 or 7 seed. And then you go in the playoffs and Justin Fields goes nuclear and shuts up all the haters. And then there's no more narrative. He can't
Bro
win.
is living out
in
a
the
fantasy
playoffs,
right
bitch.
now.
Yeah,
in his head.
If they get like the 7th seed, it'll just be the Eagles Bucks all over again a couple years ago, and they'll get pounded.
Yeah, and look what happened to the Eagles the next season. So
they lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
they still
Crazy.
made it, and their quarterback was in the MVP conversation.
Only one team finishes
That's
the year
enough for
happy.
me.
The big thing is, though, actually, odds probably are, well, they won't go against the Eagles. They'll get San Fran or Minnesota if they're the 7th
lose to
seed.
either of
So,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
So, yep.
So,
Speaking of Minnesota, I suppose
still, if you're a Bears fan, I think you'd take that. You make the playoffs and then
No,
lose to the
absolutely.
Vikings, whatever.
I absolutely, like I said, that's what happened to Philly. And look what happened to Philly last year. The difference is, instead of having to go out and get that receiver, we just got to find literally anyone who knows how to rush the passer.
Yeah. Which seems like a tough thing for the Bears to figure out.
Well, no, we've got 2 first-round picks, and apparently next year's edge class is kind of nice, from what I've been told. So,
But who went first this time around? Jake.
I
go.
did. The Vikings 12-5.
Ooh.
Ceiling of 13-4, and a floor of 9-8. 12-5 was shocking to me. I just ran through their schedule on the player predictor thing, and I looked up and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess we'll take that. There are definitely some games that I had them beating the Eagles in week 2,
Ooh.
which probably won't happen. But that was the 12th win, I think.
See,
after
I had
went
them
through it.
losing that.
I have them
but
beating
the
San Fran in
Chargers.
week 7. I have them
losing that too.
losing to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yes, I have them
So
losing to the Chargers.
there's so many 50-50 games. Like most
yeah,
of their out of division
I
stuff
can't
except
see them
Denver
losing
and
any more than
Oakland,
8.
or
though.
Vegas. I will continue to say Oakland. That's where they belong. Just like I still keep saying
you're
San
dead
Diego.
naming the Raiders.
I don't
You're
care.
dead naming the Raiders.
Sell the team. A's. Goodbye.
True. They need to sell the Rockies too. Stan Kroenke, save us. Yeah, I got.
I mean, if you sell to Stan Kroenke, you're winning the World Series. It's just how
Right.
he works. So.
Well, because he would actually spend the money to keep our good players and then bring some in. Bro understands the spend money
be
to
fair,
make money idea.
keeping good players only works if you have good players to start with.
Well, we had Nolan Arenado, who is like
And-
the greatest third baseman to ever live. So I don't know
I have Chris Bryant though. So.
who
I
now
know
plays
him.
the outfield
I did that guy
for some
Chris
reason.
Bryant.
Yeah.
What
played
team
for
was
the
he on
Cubs.
before the Rockies?
before, I think, the Yankees.
No.
He was on the Giants before the Rockies. That's close though.
He went
yeah,
to the
good
Yankees,
try.
right?
No.
Left the Cubs, went to the Yankees.
No.
Just to the Giants.
No,
then
No,
to the
that's
Rockies.
Rizzo. Rizzo
That's
went to
Rizzo.
the Yankees.
That's Rizzo.
Okay.
I knew it was a Cub.
95% of me expected Miller to go. When I said he was on the Giants, Miller to go. That's a football team.
It is a football team.
It is.
I think
but yeah, Geek.
The
Did he
You
play for the
baseball
Little
team,
Giants?
the baseball team existed first.
Okay, baseball's not a real sport.
Baseball's the only sport. Moving on.
Yeah, we need a new Vikings fan for the podcast that can also record for us because no one else knows how to.
Yeah, you're also gonna have to come up with a new name and a new channel and all of that.
Run the South. Run the South.
We'll get,
Running south, just outright saying our podcast
Running
is gonna
north.
be worse. I'll sue.
No comment.
I got the Vikings at 11-6. Ceiling of 13-4. Floor 9-8 probably. Their schedule's like not as tough as you'd expect for a first place schedule. It's not like the easiest thing of all time, obviously. You know, you still got the Chiefs and the Niners and the Bengals. None of that really sounds fun. Yeah, Philly again on a Monday night, which I just think no, it's Thursday night this time. I can't remember. Yeah, Thursday night. But still, I feel like that's a little bullying. Give Kirk noon against Philly. Let him go cook. Just one time. Just one time. Let Kirk cook.
Don't let him do it. Miller, you
That's
obviously,
also how I picked losses. Most Monday nights we lost.
Yeah, fair enough.
If it was
Miller,
a
you
Sunday
obviously
game, no.
you obviously agree with us as well. So
I have the Alabama Crimson Tide finishing first in the NFC North. No, I obviously have the Vikings finishing 11-6, with like 9-8 floor, 13-4 ceiling.
Dude,
Okay,
dude. You picked two divisions where it's kind of clear, other than
The
maybe
NFC's
the top two. And even then, we've all kind of had a consensus going all offseason.
I'm excited.
I really thought I was going to be the contrarian saying the Ravens. I'm not going to lie.
Are you?
Yeah,
have you not
so did
listened to
I.
me and Jake talk
This
all
is
year?
a Ravens
Oh?
podcast. This is a
I
Ravens.
think I
podcast.
listened to you guys talk.
But
I've raved about everything.
I'm
the
excited
Ravens
for
do.
the East episode. I think the East
I
episode
think the
will be
East is
pretty
gonna be fun.
controversial. Maybe we'll do that one next. But I believe that is all we have for you guys on
Everybody
this fine
gets it till I
day.
have the Commanders
Everybody
winning.
gets so the Commanders win the division 13-4.
Dude, I
Sam
get you're a
Howell
North
wins
Carolina
MVP.
guy, but chill.
Yeah, don't worry.
Chill.
They're gonna get Drake May next year, and they'll have the better North Carolina quarterback. But
Mitch
yeah, I
Trubisky,
believe.
the best North Carolina You were so angry at that.
I'm not gonna go back to the clip that we have on our TikTok. If you want to go watch the clip of TikTok of these two bozos arguing Mitchell Trubisky versus Kenny Pickett, you can.
Austin Hooper and Mo Alley Cox
but
part 2.
It's just the Austin Hooper and Mo I almost just said
Mo Calliox.
I almost just said
Mo
Mo Calliox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired, man. I believe that is all we have for you guys on this fine Friday. Yeah, be sure to follow us on all our socials. Do everything you can to help grow the podcast on all platforms: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. That's it. We're obviously Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Be sure to give us a rating and review on Spotify and wherever you listen to our podcast. We do appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you guys not hopping off the Run the North train quite yet. What is he doing? Stop rubbing the mic.
Stop.
If you're watching,
That's the most out-of-pocket thing. I win again.
This isn't even out of pocket.
It's out
I'm
of
just
pocket.
trying to put it back on the stand.
Okay, that's all we got for you guys. We love you guys. We
Why'd you have
appreciate
to
all
make
your
it
support.
weird?
We will see you guys next time.
Bye.